All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, in 2020, the Jacksonville Jaguars were only able to win one game, and they really have not shown that much improvement here in 2021. Now, after 13 games this season, the Jags are 2-11 as they are steamrolling towards another top five pick in the NFL draft. And the man that was pegged earlier this year to turn around the fortunes of the Jags is quickly showing that he is not only not the guy, but he is also out of touch with his team. Now, Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer has been a lightning rod of controversy since he joined the organization earlier this year. Meyer got the party started by hiring former Iowa strength coach Chris Doyle, who brought with him several allegations of player mistreatment while he was at the school. Now, Meyer has also been critical of the free agency process in the NFL. And the big one that a lot of people talked about and some people are still talking about earlier this season following Jacksonville's week 4 loss on the road to the Cincinnati Bengals, Meyer decided to stay in Ohio while his team flew back to Jacksonville. And soon after that became public, a video surfaced of Meyer at a bar with a young lady who he appeared to grope. Now, as his Jaguars continue to struggle this year, Meyer has reportedly been critical of some of the team's assistant coaches, where he allegedly called them losers during a meeting. Now, in losing their last 5 games, three of those losses by Jacksonville have been by at least 20 points. And included in that is their 20 to nothing shutout today on the road at the hands of the Tennessee Titans. And for me, whereas some people would say that Meyer has lost his team in Jacksonville, honestly, I am not sure that he even had them to begin with. I say that from the standpoint that Meyer was born to wear a whistle. He's a coach, but the bottom line is he belongs in the college game, not the NFL. And I said that from the moment that Jacksonville decided to hire him, because Meyer at no point during his coaching journey, and it's been a tremendous one, was he ever involved in the program. He was never an assistant, you name it. So honestly, Meyer needs to be someplace where he's the star of the show. And of course, in college, the head coach is the star of the show, while in the NFL, it's the players. And Meyer, when you talk about getting talent, Meyer is accustomed to getting his litter of five-star recruits to come play for him. We saw it first at Florida and then, of course, at Ohio State. And, because of that, Meyer was able to win national championships at both of those stops. He was able to control the narrative as far as who's going to get a scholarship from him and who wasn't. Obviously, that changes in the NFL with the draft and free agency. And with the draft, you have to be able to develop talent, find talent, and also be able to develop it while also finding a few gems here and there in free agency. Now, make no mistake about it, you can talk to the college kids a lot different than you can talk to grown men. And I think this is something that Meyer is finding out firsthand this year. And this is a part of the growing pains for him as a head coach in the NFL. But as Meyer has struggled in the NFL with Jacksonville, and I know that there are going to be plenty of people who want to blame him. Honestly, I put this on owner Shad Khan, because you look at it, and at the end of the day, you hired a guy who, he's an older coach. And I say older, he's not an old man. He's 57 years of age, but he's old from the coaching sense that, what, all he's done is the college game. And, people, sometimes you want to go with trends and see, well, who's getting this guy from college, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, typically the guys that have success are the younger guys. And I know that people are going to, want to point to Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll, prior to joining the Seattle Seahawks, did have a previous life in the NFL prior to him having success collegiately at USC. This right here is a totally different ball of wax in regards to Urban Meyer. And honestly, Urban Meyer's inability to relate to the NFL game as well as his players, unfortunately, that's going to be his downfall in this league. Now, it's going to be very interesting this offseason for Jacksonville. And I say that because during Shad Khan's time as the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's been a guy that's been very patient and very loyal with his head coaches. So it's going to be interesting to see, would Khan want to bring Meyer back for 2022? Would both of them mutually agree to part ways in the offseason? We'll have to wait and see. But the bottom line is, you look at the way that the Jags, and I know that they're 2-11, but you still want to see a team that is, number one, competing and showing signs of life and trying to show signs of improvement. But you look at Jacksonville play, and especially the way that they played today, they are not a team that, to me, that is going to bat for their head coach. I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm not in that locker room, but honestly, you can see the way that they're playing and going about their business. You simply just don't see it, especially since um, three of their last five losses have come by at least 20 points. So it's going to be interesting to see because, historically, Jacksonville has never been a top destination among NFL free agents. And I don't think, I think it's going a little bit even further down the pecking order right now because I simply don't see guys, free agent guys, really wanting to line up and go out there and play for an Urban Meyer unless they played for him collegiately. So you look at it, of course, Jacksonville's big gem is rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence. He's had his ups and downs as a rookie, as was to be expected. Number one, the learning curve from college to the NFL. Number two, Trevor Lawrence, he went to a team that only won one game last year. And on top of that, there still is not a lot of talent around him. Trevor Lawrence really struggled today. He threw four picks in the loss to the Titans. But the bottom line is, and I said it when it happened, I really didn't believe that Urban Meyer was going to be the head coach to help Trevor Lawrence take his game to the next level in the NFL. If you were telling me that Urban Meyer recruited Trevor Lawrence out of high school to come play for him at Ohio State, okay, I'm totally on board with that, but it's a little bit different here in the NFL. You need somebody who's kind of been there, done that, to show this youngster the ropes. And on top of that, he needs more talent around him. You could see the talent that Trevor Lawrence has, but the bottom line is he needs the coaching and he needs the talent around him if he is going to have some success in the NFL. Like I said, this is going to be a very interesting offseason for Shad Khan and the Jags. Will Shad Khan just cut his losses and say, you know what, this is not working out, and it's not going to work out with Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Going forward for the Jags, how this goes going forward for Urban Meyer, and how this goes going forward for Trevor Lawrence. Just like it is important for teams that are picking early on in the draft to hit on those picks, it's also important for organizations that are struggling to hit home runs when it comes to hiring head coaches, hiring general managers, hiring scouts, hiring personnel. So if you're Jacksonville right now with Urban Meyer, you're set up to have your organization continue to be in the abyss of the NFL. Would you cut losses and try to, say, hey, we made a mistake. We're going to try to turn this thing around. It's going to be interesting to see. It's also going to be interesting to see how these Jacksonville players play for Urban Meyer coming down the stretch. But if today was any indication of what it's going to look like, Jacksonville is going to struggle for the rest of the season. So this is a problem that is not going away in Northern Florida and Duval County for the Jags. It's just right now the ball is in the court of Shad Khan to see what he's going to do or not to do in regards to his NFL team. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. And just before I sign off, I want to take this time out to say hello to Zigzag Crazy, and I appreciate the comment on the jerseys. I always try to switch them up and give people a different perspective of what is going on behind me in the world of sports. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.